rivalry between the two 3-year-olds who swept last year's Triple Crown. Sovereignty earned Horse of the Year honors after wins against Journalism in both the Derby and Belmont. Runner-up in both those races, Journalism shined in the Preakness with a comeback that left racing fans speechless. Then there's the veteran of the group, 7-year-old White Abarrio, a former Whitney and Breeders' Cup Classic winner. All three make their Hot Springs debut in today's Oaklawn Handicap. Welcome to horse racing's newest rivalry in a showdown we're rarely treated to this early in the year between stars with these kinds of resumes. Welcome to South Ozone Park, New York. Sun shining on a gorgeous Saturday afternoon. We'll bring you the opener from Aqueduct in just a little bit. Greg Wolf alongside Paul Verderosa. Today in all of sports, there is no bigger matchup than what we have later on this afternoon from Oaklawn Park. The two 3-year-olds who swept last year's Triple Crown, Horse of the Year Sovereignty, winner of the Derby, winner of the Belmont, beat Journalism in both those races. Of course, Journalism shined in the Preakness. They meet for the third time in their 4-year-old debuts coming up.
It is just something that is so impressive in this day and age. It's a treat to actually have both of these horses back at 4, thriving in their training and getting ready to put on a show for us this season. And honestly, when you think about it, you talked about it being early in the season, then meeting up. You never see that anymore. Everybody's ducking and diving and doesn't want to face each other, and you can't even get them together until the end of the year if you're lucky enough, if they stay sound enough for the Breeders' Cup. So this is a real treat for racing today. It is something racing needs.
Incredible to see these two go at it. Throw in White Abarrio as well. What a trio you have. Of course, a former Breeders' Cup Classic winner. It's our ABR Race of the Week. The reigning Kentucky Derby Belmont Stakes winner, Horse of the Year Sovereignty, his 4-year-old return. He's been away for 8 months. Journalism, who tackled him in those Derby and Belmont duels, won the Preakness when Sovereignty sat out. He's back off about 5.5 months away, both making their 4-year-old return to the races. Here's the tale of the tape. This is the most exciting rivalry now in horse racing. Sovereignty, Journalism, round 3, and the edge, there's no question right now, that goes to Sovereignty.
Of course. You know, he's reigning Horse of the Year. He took down 2 legs of the Triple Crown as well. He had that blowout win in the Travers, and one of the cool things about him is, you know, he's a horse that sets his own rhythm, and then he makes this big move. So it really doesn't matter to him what the pace scenario's been. He's adapted to it. Good horses do that. And he finds a way to get the job done. He battled that fever for a little bit, which unfortunately knocked him out of the Breeders' Cup, but he seems to be just fine. His training's gone well, and each time he's trained, he's picked it up and he's looked physically better.
His trainer, Bill Mott, who won Trainer of the Year last year, mainly because of what this horse accomplished, he was cognizant of what this is. He said, look, it is a starting point for his 4-year-old campaign. First off, an 8-month layoff. You can get a little tired. You're going to get better as the year goes on. But training both these horses, it seems like, lights out for this third meeting between the two. As for Journalism, showed up to all 3 legs of the Triple Crown, now shows up here to meet Sovereignty. You got to really tip your cap to these connections. And this horse, he was sensational all year long and really didn't run bad at all in the Breeders' Cup.
No, because honestly, when you think about it, was he going to beat horses like Forever Young and Sierra Leone? And he had already lost to Fierceness, you know, in the Pacific Classic in the start prior to that. Facing older for the first time, having come out of the grind of running in all of the Triple Crown races and some preps before that, it probably took a little bit of a toll on this horse. But you can see in his training how he's just filled out, and you could see just how he's gotten now bigger and stronger as he gets ready to kick off his 4-year-old campaign. He's
the one with something to prove. He is yet to beat Sovereignty in those 2 meetings. Beat by him in the Kentucky Derby, beat by him in the Belmont Stakes. Will round 3 be a different story in the 4-year-old debut for both? That's race 11 later on this afternoon on part 3 of our coverage. Later on tonight on Fox Sports 2. We're going to kick off our action this afternoon. Opener from Aqueduct, 6-furlong sprint, New York breds. In this first level allowance race here, fillies and mares 3 and up, and Helen's Revenge. Linda Rice, Jose Lezcano, right now even money.
Not a shocker, of course, for those connections. We'll see if that horse can get the job done.
Kick off our post parade with D's a Rock, off since July of last summer at Saratoga.
But you would think this horse is going to be the speed of this race with a clean break in here.
Next door, Sunshine Lily, trained by Gregory DePrima.
You know, she's been a decent spots in her races, but she hasn't fired. We'll see if she can do that today at the end.
Big effort, and it was a win last start right here in New York for Helen's Revenge.
Yeah, she turned it around after that poor wet track effort at the start before. Solid connections here. You should expect them to be favorites.
Graceful Rose getting another try against Helen's Revenge, who had beat her when they met back in early January.
I wonder if she's going to be against it from a pace standpoint like she was last time. We'll find out today if there's enough hitting to set her closing kickoff.
And Cloudy Chance, coming off a 3-length victory last time out, was forward, took over the lead pretty early on. Might have a tough time doing that today.
We'll see how aggressive they are. It paid off last time with her. She's the horse that could stay within range of Deezer Rock early on.
5 minutes away to kick off our action here in South Ozone Park, New York. Not just the matchup of the year to this point in the Grade 2 Oaklawn Handicap. It's also a big day for the Preakness Stakes. Of course, a race that Journalism won last year. As we see what's ahead, presented by Claiborne Farm. 2 automatic berths on the line in both the Federico Tessio, it's Preakness Preview Day at Laurel Park, and in the Bathhouse Row out at Oaklawn to punch your ticket to the Preakness Stakes.
A lot of great racing coming up today from across the country, and the conditions seem to be good in all of the parts, so we should be able to enjoy it.
So 4 minutes away from this opening race coming up here in New York. All the action this afternoon across all these racetracks and beyond. You can play it with Naira Bets. Get a $25 free Derby bet. Punch in that code at sign up, Derby25, to take advantage right there at NairaBets.com. Let's check in for the first time on our coverage downstairs with Acacia Clement.
And it's a gorgeous day here in New York, Greg, and actually a pretty good crowd on hand at Aqueduct as well. As we'll start with your current favorite in the opener. That's the 3 Helen's Revenge. They saddled her on the walk, but once they got the tack on her and with an outrider pony close by, she was fine. She is one that can be a little bit tricky prior to her races. It seems that they've got the system down. As she returns to New York Bred Company, winning last time out, she should be the favorite. She's been very consistent all along. My one slight question for her is, does she prefer a touch longer than the 6 furlongs she's going to get today? Her last win came at the 7/8, which physically I think is the ideal distance. But that being said, she was pressing the pace setter last time out. It was a confident move, and she was much the best in there, winning. Now, Vino Frizzante came back yesterday and did not run a step in a claiming race when dropping in class. So that's something to be a touch concerned about. But I think that this horse is the one to beat in this spot. And she's not pace compromised, which definitely is to her benefit. The number 1, Deezer Rock, is intriguing coming back off of the layoff. I'm certain that Bill Murray did not claim her in July for $32,000 and expect to sit on her until April of the following year. So clearly something that kept her on the sidelines, but she does come back here off of a 3rd place finish on a wet track that day, where she actually looked like she was trying and hit the front at one point. And she is a horse that has the ability to be forwardly placed. She got an aggressive warm-up out there on the track from Christopher Elliott, who is aggressive. And with the rail post position, I do expect her to be on the front end early. She is a horse, though, that I do think will benefit from a start off of the layoff. She really looked to me like she could strengthen a little bit, especially in her hind end and across that top line. Would have like to see her a touch better in her coat as well. She looks fit in that there's no excess coming back, but like I said, I do feel that she will benefit from a start off the bench and doesn't come back in the easiest place either. The number 4, Graceful Rose, as Paul touched on, yes, she was pace compromised last time out. She was chasing behind, and while the winner was pulling away best that day, I did think that Graceful Rose was getting to the 2nd place horse that afternoon, and she, in contrast to the favorite, I think benefits from the slight cutback in distance today. She is so compact, very short in her back, very short coupled, just built like an out-and-out sprinter. So I do think that the 6 furlongs should suit her. And while she took a little bit of time to get going out there, she warmed up quite nicely once Jamie Rodriguez kept her moving, and she's a horse that I just think has really developed quite a bit over the years that she's been racing since coming back here to New York. She's carrying terrific weight now, especially after running consistently throughout the winter. That's not something that's always the case. Looks super in her coat, and while she was beaten as the favorite last time, you'll get a better price on her today, and I thought she was a little bit of an interesting alternative, Greg.
Acacia, thank you. She's the veteran of this group. 6-year-old mare, the 4, Graceful Rose, meeting a field of 4-year-old fillies in this spot as we go back to the favorite. 3-5 now. Wow, on Helen's Revenge. Public is backing this one pretty heavily for Linda Rice.
You know, she just has better figures and better races than a lot of these horses in this group. And what I like about this horse too is Linda Rice has kind of picked and choose her spots with this horse and placing this horse well, which Linda tends to do anyway with most of her horses. And, you know, it's led to wins. When you look at the horse's losses, that third going way back in November was a much better field. 2 starts back against Cadena, who wired the field. She kind of got bounced around at the break, didn't really was able to run her race, if you will. So for me, you know, off that effort, she turned it around last time. She pressed the pace. She was able to draw away from that field and get the job done. There's no reason why she can't be in another spot today off a horse like Diza Rock or Cloudy Chance if they kind of meet up on the front end or one goes, and may just fall into the right trip again here today.
Acacia brought up some question marks with 6 furlongs. Are you concerned about today being a little short for her?
Not really, because I think she has enough speed to keep herself in the game. She's done that in 3 of her last 4 starts, and even the start where she got away bad, she was only 2 lengths off at the first call. So I think Jose Lezcano fits her well. Jose kind of knows her intricacies, that she likes to kind of drift in a little bit at times as well. So I think that's important for her in here. 4 to 5 might be a little bit short on her in here, but when you think about it, and you think about the races she's won and the figures she just has better figures and races than most of this field.
Jose Lezcano adjusting those goggles. One of the regular pilots for the win machine, Linda Rice, set a record for wins on this circuit last year. She's on pace to smash that record this year. Just been an incredible start to 2026 for the barn of Linda Rice. 3 to 5 favored here. The 3 in the center of your screen here. Helen's Revenge, 4-year-old filly. Huge favorite as we get set to kick off this Saturday card. From Aqueduct, Chris Griffin to get us started.
Graceful Rose and Cloudy Chance will be last to load. Beginning of the early pick 5 on this Saturday afternoon. Cloudy Chance is in. All set. And they're off at Aqueduct. Speed right from the outside. Cloudy Chance pulling Manny Franco towards the front, and Cloudy Chance is the clear leader. At the rail, it's Diza Rock, who's content to stalk from second. Might switch to the outside here with a quick look over his right shoulder. Christopher Elliott now sees Sunshine Lily ready to pounce, has taken that second spot away. And out wider, there's Helen's Revenge in the center of the racetrack as they approach. 4 furlongs left to go. The lone trailer, Graceful Rose. They work into the far turn, and Cloudy Chance is still there. Sunshine Lily right to the outside within ahead of the leader. 22-4 was that opening quarter mile. 3 wide. Here comes the favorite in. Helen's Revenge is just looming after the top 2. Then trying to keep up, it's Diza Rock, who's alone in 4th, and far back to Graceful Rose. Jose Lezcano takes a confident look back as they reach the top of the stretch, and 45-4 for the half-mile time. Helen's Revenge has now taken the lead. Helen's Revenge is quickly up by a length and a half in 2, is widening this margin with every stride with a furlong left to go. On the far outside, Diza Rock has some late momentum, but Helen's Revenge is going to win the opener and win it easily. Helen's Revenge, much the best. Sunshine Lily second, then Cloudy Chance and Diza Rock finished 4th in 1 minute 10.75 seconds.
A no doubt about it victory. Helen's Revenge, too good for this group in the opener. Winds up going off at 3 to 5.
Yeah, and smart ride, too, by Jose Lezcano, because when Sunshine Lily started making that move to go after Cloudy Chance, he kind of moved along with her and just stood to her outside, perched, and you knew as they were turning for home that he was loaded and he was going to be gone right there. Shook her up, and that was the end of that. Nice effort, though, for Sunshine Lily to kind of bounce back, because she was able to make a little bit of a run early and then hold on for second in this spot. No doubt about the winner, though.
Career win number 5 from 12 tries, 4 for 8 at Aqueduct now for this 4-year-old filly. Helen's Revenge, owned by Les Blake. Linda Rice Barn continues to roll. Jose Lezcano aboard for this short price victory as we hold serve in the opener with a heavy odds-on favorite kicking things off.
Yeah, we'll see if that trend continues in the next race, what looks to be a heavy favorite. But for now, Linda Rice, Jose Lezcano, connections we're used to seeing in the winner's circle, I would say.
3-2, 5-1 finish. It's Helen's Revenge at a short price to kick off Saturday action in New York. Still ahead later from Hot Springs, Arkansas, round 3. Kentucky Derby, Belmont Stakes, Travers winner, Horse of the Year Sovereignty, trying to remain undefeated against the Preakness winner, Journalism, who gave us one of the great rallies in Triple Crown history when he won that middle jewel last year. The name says it all. The Beast from the East.
But Sovereignty has rallied from last to first in the 8th hole.
Finest of his generation so far.
Here comes Sovereignty!
Why? Because the bigger the stage, the brighter he shines.
But it will be Sovereignty to rule the Kentucky Derby!
He ruled then, he rules now. A reigning champion. One who simply picks and chooses which crown to don.
Sovereignty, leaving absolutely no doubt who the best 3-year-old in the world is.
So welcome back, champ. It's been a while.
As Sovereignty rolls home to win by more than 8 lengths.
This stage is yours.
What stage? This stage. You do know who just arrived from California, right?
And it will be journalism.
Let's make this clear. Last year was last year. This is now. And this rivalry is just getting started.
Write this down. Journalism is the best in the West.
And remember, while one colt was passing on a shot at the Triple Crown, the other is the only horse to compete in every leg.
Here's the winner! Oh my goodness! Journalism!
So let's not pretend we know who's best,
Journalism! He's the headliner today!
because we don't. But here's the good news. There's an easy way to find out.
With more on the most exciting new rivalry in sports, we set Maggie Wolfendale on the loose in Hot Springs.
here at Oaklawn Park, the stage of the biggest race of the year, the Grade 2 Oaklawn Handicap, bringing together the horse of the year, Sovereignty. He's facing Journalism yet again. And let's not forget, Breeders' Cup Classic winner, that is White Abarrio. But I'm here today, seeing who the fans like. Come with me. Hi, guys. How are you? I mean, look at you. You got your ticket out?
We heard there's like a horse that's like the best in the country or something like that.
Sovereignty.
Let's go, Sovereignty!
How excited are we for the big weekend this weekend?
Well, that's what I'm asking you. How excited are you?
Journalism.
Look, you and I, same page.
Who do you like?
Journalism.
So you're going to bet chalk?
Unfortunately, I'd love to see Journalism win. Sovereignty's going to win the race.
I'm going to box them.
You're gonna what?
Box them.
Box them.
That's how you win.
And then the white horse, that's mine.
That's White Abarrio.
That's my horse.
I just like that horse.
White Abarrio.
Yeah, I just like it.
He's striking.
Journalism.
Boom.
I like Sovereignty. I've been on Sovereignty since the Derby.
Well, Sovereignty, of course.
Sovereignty. Sovereignty, all day.
Thank you to all the connections for leaving him in training.
And I'm out. He's doing my job now. Here.
Okay, good, good.
Okay, bye.
A lot of love for the reigning horse of the year, as there should be. Yet to lose to Journalism in their two meetings in the Kentucky Derby and the Belmont Stakes, and things change. You turn 3-4, and obviously that long layoff now for Sovereignty coming in. This might be the time to try and get him.
If you're ever going to get them, you're going to have to try and get them now, obviously, when they're coming off of a layoff. But they're both coming off of a layoff. We'll see how it goes. Journalism, I kind of feel like Journalism has more of the upside. I don't want to say like upside as far as like, you know, accomplishments, because I mean, obviously Sovereignty has just won just about everything he could last year, you know, except a Breeders' Cup Classic. So I kind of feel like Journalism's got that room to kind of go out and beat him. Sovereignty's proven himself already, you know, against Journalism. So we'll see how it shakes out as they get back on the track. But I think it's more of Journalism's got more to prove than Sovereignty. Sovereignty's got more of the pressure on him for the connections to continue what he did and continue to grow.
It's kind of pressure you want, though, to have a horse like this. In terms of rivalries, this is turning into one of the great rivalries, not just in horse racing, in sports this year. As we take a look at some of the top horse racing rivalries of all time, and of course, top of that list, you have to start with Affirmed and Aladar. They met 10 times. Affirmed won 7 of those 10 meetings, including sweeping the Triple Crown, but not by a lot. Length and a half, neck and a head. Their final meeting came in the Travers 1978 in front of over 50,000 fans at Saratoga. Affirmed crossed the wire first, only to get DQ'd, and Aladar was put up.
Yeah, that was a great rivalry when you go back and watch those races. And, you know, it's one thing to go out there and to beat your opponent, but to do it each time measured, winning a Triple Crown is another. And to win 7 of those meetings, too, is just something that is huge, without a doubt.
Round 3, Sovereignty Journalism coming up later on this afternoon, the Grade 2 Oaklawn Handicap. This is the group that will line up, and it is Sovereignty, the 4-5 morning line favorite. His first race back is a 4-year-old. Same for Journalism. First race back is a 4-year-old at 5-2. But then let's not forget a former Whitney winner, Breeders' Cup Classic winner, the veteran of this group, 7-year-old White Abarrio, over $7 million in earnings. This will be the 22nd race of his career in graded stakes company today.
And that just goes to show you how durable and competitive that he is. And if anybody can play spoiler, it's going to be this guy right here, because honestly, he's got a little bit more recency than the other 2 horses, having run in January at Gulfstream in the Pegasus World Cup. And he's tactically fast enough that if they break running, man, if I was Gerardo Ortiz, I would send him and see what's going on outside of me and let the others come and chase you, especially with them coming off of a layoff. I mean, he's got enough tactical speed inside to dictate the way that this race is going to go. He's a danger in here. He could be a spoiler. I think this is an exceptionally amazing matchup that we get to see, because you don't get 3 horses of this caliber together at this time of the year. You'd be hard-pressed to find it. I'd like to really know when the last time it was.
It is incredibly rare, such a treat for everyone who's a fan of this game to see this kind of matchup, at this stage in the year between 2 budding stars and, of course, a multi-millionaire in White Abarrio, but last year's 2 3-year-olds who swept the Triple Crown. You can get a little protection this afternoon. Bet $20 to win on any one horse in the Grade 2 Oaklawn Handicap. Get your $20 back if your horse finishes second. You do have to opt in to take advantage at NYRABets.com. Back to the opener here in New York, and we kick off our Saturday card with convincing victory here for the 3-5 favorite Helen's Revenge.
Yeah, this is 3 out of 4 now for her, and she clears this state bred non-winners of 1 condition. So Linda will have a little bit more options with her next time out, and she was just much the best in here. And you know, Acacia had talked about it earlier on about the 6 furlongs. Maybe it was going to make a little bit of a difference for this horse. You could see Jose Lozano kind of get after her to let her kind of move up into the race as Sunshine Lily was moving up as well, because he didn't want these horses to get too far away from her. And he was able to get a nice spot 3 wide out in the clear, and when it was go time, she responded for him, and she drew off convincingly in the lane. She was no match for Sunshine Lily, and the race complexion kind of changed a little bit when Deezer Rock didn't get out of there all that fast. So Manny Franco, sensing that, sent Cloudy Chance to the front. That was his best way of winning, and he ended up 3rd in this spot.
1:10-3 final time for the 6 furlongs. Helen's Revenge now back-to-back wins in 5-4-12 lifetime for Lena Rice, Jose Lezcano, and again owned by Les Blake. Later this summer, what a meeting it was last year with Sovereignty and Journalism in round 2 that Sovereignty won at the Belmont Stakes at Saratoga. Final chance to see a Belmont Stakes at historic Saratoga coming up early June. Get your tickets now at belmontstakes.com/tickets. You do not want to miss it.
I think it's just a great week of racing altogether, and what you see there is going to springboard everybody for what we see in the fall at the new beautiful Belmont Park, and looking forward to that and the racing that goes on. It could be shaping up to be a very, very exciting year.
Cannot wait for this summer. Cannot wait for this showdown to come a little bit later on. There was a little bit of rain earlier today in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Track already, though, listed as fast.
That's good news.
Out at Oaklawn as they're 20 minutes away from the opener. Here's a look at all the stakes action we have coming up today. Bayshore, huge scratch. We'll have that race on our Fox Sports 1 coverage that begins at 2:30. But Igniter comes out of that race. Solitude Dude, though, major favorite for Saffie Joseph Jr.
Yeah, it should be. I like the cut back for him, and he should be very tough in this spot. And don't sleep on the Laurel races either. Some solid racing from Laurel today.
Yeah, Preakness preview day out in Maryland, and 2 winning your ins for the Preakness. Bathhouse Row out at Oaklawn, and of course that Federico Tessio out at Laurel Park. Part 2 of our coverage. 2:30 Eastern start time on FS1. We will see you then. And then later tonight on FS2 coverage that begins at 4 Eastern. Round 3, Sovereignty, the reigning horse of the year. 2-0 against Journalism, the Preakness winner. We'll try and get on the board in this budding rivalry as they meet yet again. Can the old man steal it, though? White Arborio trying to pick up another graded stakes victory against these 2 talented 4-year-olds later this afternoon.
The classic sire.
You bet with Naira Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime, including all 3 legs of racing's Triple Crown. Download the Naira Bets app to play today and get a $25 free bet plus $200 deposit match bonus. Watch live horse racing, get expert picks, boost your bankroll with daily promotions, and hone your handicapping skills with exclusive tips and tutorials. Sign up now to claim your $25 free bet and $200 deposit match now through the first Saturday in May, only with Naira Bets.
Hot Springs is here for when you need to break away, when you want to reward yourself, when you deserve to indulge, when you want to be close to the action. It's all here. So what are you waiting for? Live racing returns with the classic racing season. So plan your stay at Oaklawn Hot Springs and come join the fun.
New York breds. Race them.
Respect them.
Bet them.
Respect them.
Breed them.
Respect them.
Buy them.
Respect them.
Train them for a second career.
Respect them.
Join us in respecting thoroughbreds at every stage of life. Learn more at nybreds.com.